Hi guys, welcome back to TedRedwoodFM. I am Ed. Today, something a little bit different. I've been inspired by just some of the stuff I've seen on Twitter recently, to be honest. I think Fox in the Box posted a picture of League FM19 training, and it was a picture of USM2's team training. And since then, actually today, I've noticed a couple of people have been talking about doing some older games in the FM community. I have actually done a bit of recording before this for USM2, but today I'm finally actually going to put the intro sort of thing together, a bit of a review of just an overall look at the game, and then we'll probably do a little playthrough as well. I love FM, obviously. I'm going to do some recording of that tonight as well, but it takes up a lot of time in terms of recording one day to the next, and I actually have no content, and it's a new week tomorrow, so this is going to come out, so enjoy. So this is Ultimate Soccer Manager 2, so I've actually recorded this separately, and then I'm just putting myself on top, so this is already done. It's not live, but I am live reviewing it basically. I've left the music on, you can turn all that stuff off. Quite a straightforward game. Came out, was it 91-96 season, really scaled back compared to management games these days, so just simple, go choose your team. I think there's only England in this edition. My favourite was 98-99, but and also who the hell are Bronze Grove Rovers? No idea. Yeah, my favourite was the 98-99 version, but I can't get a virtual machine working, so I've not. This is all done through DOSBox, open source software, so it's all good. We chose Newcastle just to show off everything. You get a selection of funds you can start with, so 50,000 up to 10 million. So obviously you want to start with a lot more to make it easier. I've instantly had a look at, so this is like the opening page you come onto, is just the ground. As you can see, you can add a number of different buildings. You can change the stadium around, add more seats to the stands. You can get more capacity on the later game, the USM 98-99 version. So up here, well, you can see around all the buildings you can click into. For example, select the small shop, you can change the price of things. You can even add in extra items to sell that aren't already there. So obviously look at like cost, benefit, all that kind of stuff. It's not overly intuitive programs in this one, so yeah, fine. It's not overly intuitive in terms of cost, price and stuff like that, economics. There is a bit more of that to handle in terms of the merch and sponsorships and stuff like that, so that's something you don't get with FM these days that you actually would get with USM 98, obviously, and USM 2 and USM 1 even. However, obviously Football Manager now just delves a lot deeper into like the stats and things like that, and I think it's a lot more presentable on that front, and you'll see that in a minute. But looking around at the other buildings, you've got the chairman's office, manager's office, and just things like that around, which is good, which you also get on this top panel here. So that button is for ground improvements. So we're just going to add in a couple car parks to show you how easy it is. You just wang it down, wang the next one down, press the right click button, and it just says, are you sure? And yeah, I think car park, or put 3 down, I think car park are good for bringing in more people basically. So into the manager's office, we got a notice board which is for agents and chairman, I think. View faxes, so just generic garb in there. Transfer list, loan list, arranging friendlies, all done through the fax machines. We just arranged one with Oldham just to show you how it's done. Voicemail stuff, so rig match, offer bung, place bet, and answer phone. We'll have a little look at that later, I think. In the player file, so you can scout, or you can like flick through the different options here, but it shows you all your players. This is like the wages and contracts tab, but there's stats, appearances, all that information, and morale. And then you've also got club, so like highest finish, all that kind of stuff, good things there. Manager, so it's just your manager per year, and then misc, so you get like the opinion from chairman, player, staff, financial stability, blah blah blah. So a pretty broad look at things, but I think it's kind of enough a lot of the time. And also in the manager's office you get this, so teletext, so you get to see fixtures for the season as well as tables. This is where you see all this stuff. I quite like this on teletext because that was just the time, wasn't it? You can even like type in the numbers to get to certain pages. Don't know if I try it here or not, no. That button up there is just for the transfer list. You'll see there are some greyed out boxes for the fax machine, notice board and newspaper. So we've selected Dennis Bergkamp to try and sign. I know I'm clicking through this really quickly. Wants a higher signing fee. I remember this failing. I didn't know how much he actually wanted, so we didn't get Dennis Bergkamp in the end. But I also wanted to show off that we could sign someone. So any of the greyed out boxes, if there's an action, they will not be greyed out basically. And Dennis Bergkamp won't negotiate anymore. So all live negotiations, which is good. They sign on the spot, which is also good. So to make sure we got someone, we went for a known name. Nigel Worthington obviously has been manager of various different clubs and national teams now, bless him. And then in terms of our side, just this is how you sell players. You just go into like sell player. Shearer's down there, which is nice, his first season with us. So you on the transfer list option, or you can give a new contract, insure, all that stuff. But you can also select fast sell or set to just set on the transfer list. We fast sold. You obviously get less money, but you get rid of them on the spot, which is nice. You can see fixtures there. Over in the chairman's office, you've got things like the sponsors, so one will appear in there once you have options. Advertising, so these are all the advertising hoardings. You can click assistant on, and that will do it for you after a day, or you can select them yourself. It's just a maths game, basically, try and figure out what's best for you over the season, blah blah blah. You can change ticket prices as well. That's something else you can't do in FM, and it's probably quite realistic not to. A couple of little things to click, but that's it really. You'll appear in the chairman's office if he's peeved with you, which for me will probably end up being quite often. Changing room is where a lot of good things happen. So we've got yes, it's kind of higgledy-piggledy a bit everywhere. No match today, so your position screen is pointless. This is the training, the team training for USM2, which is actually not bad considering. Always set free time on Wednesdays, that's just a little tip. Team selection, the annoying thing about this is all the players come through in order of like the two goalkeepers together and stuff like that. So you do have to set your formation, then move the players around. So obviously Pavel Cernacek isn't a defender. So we just find our best squad here. Some real classic names at Newcastle. So Hislop, Beresford, Barton, Peacock, Albert, Howie. In the middle, I put David Batty in, but he's going to come out. But David Ginola is there. I think we drop Rob Lee in a second. Yeah, just how can you not prefer Rob Lee to David Batty? And then up front, obviously Newcastle had some real talent. We've put Osprey, who's for some reason noted as a midfielder, but that's fine. But Shearer's going up front with him, as well as Les Ferdinand. We're not focusing too much on the gaming today, so this is just playing around a bit, to be completely honest. So that was the team selection bit. Team talk is where you can do things like change formation, set your captain, as well as any other things. So I don't know if we've actually, do we go through and select our free kick taker? It's all quite straightforward, it's nothing too complex at this stage anyway. It does get more complex. You can set win bonuses for each individual game rather than overall through the season. Offside trap, yes or no. Start attacking, normal or defensive. Again, nothing too outrageous there. Long ball or passing, and then hard, soft or normal tackling. And then obviously you can change formation up here as well. So we were set a 5-2-3, just a standard, so we're going to stick with that. And then you can make moves, which I think we'll show in a second, as well as select certain people to mark for each game and stuff like that. So it is, I'll find eventually, I think it's tactics, yeah. So this is where FM, people ask for it. You can set attacking positions from corners from each side, taking a goal kick, kicking off, and when taking a penalty, as well as all the defensive positions. That's something FM doesn't necessarily have, but I think it'd be a good idea, but equally, I feel like it sort of does that anyway. But you can also make moves, so we're going to try and make a move quickly now, so you can just move the players around like from kickoff. So we're just going to move number 6 up. So yeah, you can literally just do anything really. We do save this at the end, but I don't actually put it into any practice, which is unfortunate. But we do try, bless us. But as we are going to show off a bit of the game, well, one of the moves. So what we're going to do is you can start a new move. You select who's going to be involved in the move, and you can do the actions that we'll see in the top right corner. So dribble, pass, shoot, move, or wait, which should appear. Once I learn to right click. So from kickoff, I think I changed my mind initially because I didn't know that you'll be able to see underneath that as well. It says current step 1 of 1. You can click next, basically, or like the right arrow to go forward a step. So I didn't know what I was doing really here. But we've got number 8 moving into the bottom right corner as things stand. Eventually I'll figure out what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. So basically just like put a massive through ball onto number 8 there. Make number 7, I assume, run into the box. Yeah, from kickoff. This is going to go really well. Just like long ball it up. Move on to the next step. Set your guy to pass it in. It's as simple as that, really. Like, I obviously didn't get a chance to see if this worked or not, but it would be nice. And then get him to shoot. And then you can save as, I can't remember what we save it as, but You can create all kinds of tactics. I remember back in the day, I used to spend hours making stupid moves that never worked, because why would they? We don't save the formation because why would you? But this is where you then go back onto tactics and set that as an individual move, but we don't do it. Down the bottom left, you can hire coaches, scouts, and physios. It's good to have people who are good at all, just because it's better. And then in here are the scouts, so you can select who you like, what sort of player you're looking for, the values, what you want it sorted by. So people like Tony Adams, Colin Hendry, Gary Pallister, Gareth Southgate. So Gareth show up on our initial search for a defender, and you can set them to watch, so you get a gauge of their performances, which is good. Really need a drink, but I'm just hammering through this. And here's where you can set training, so you can do it all yourself. We've just done that for an example. Just set a few players to goalkeeping for whatever reason. Then the pace, train up to pace. And you can ask the assistant, so Aspria, Shearer and Watson are all being advised to be trained on certain areas, so we'll take their advice, tick them off. And here are the injuries, but we don't have any, so that's all good. I think that is it for this screen. So that's where you go through to the next page. You can also do it with the football up the top. And we get a newspaper article because we sold off Nigel Worthington immediately for a cut price. So here you can click start match. You can also kill off that plant, which is pretty cool. Try and click other things, but nothing's happening. So this is where the start match is. So it's the graphics are horrific. You don't really get much from it. So you just click to kick off even. Man, that is terrible. So we've got it on normal pace at the moment, but you get a variety of different paces you can use. You can even do an instant result, which I think will show up in a minute. But this is like the normal pace. You can see the time over there going quite quickly. It tells you the name of the players on the ball. It gives you a bit of information when there's a foul, stuff like that. You can set it to show the number of the players, their name, or the name and number, but I find that a bit too, I don't know, there's too much information on the screen. So this is where you can do speed increases, so there's ×2, ×4, or ×8 to get through a match. So at ×8, it does go through moderately quickly, which I don't mind so much. I think ×2 is as we score the first goal of this series, which I won't be carrying on with Newcastle, by the way. I think ×2 is probably about right in terms of pace. Is a bit quick for my liking. I think if there was like a ×1.5, that'd probably be perfect, but unfortunately there's not. It's just that tiny bit too quick to really get a proper gauge on what's going on. Not I think you can anyway, because you can't really tell when a save's made or if a shot goes wide or anything. Like that looks like it's straight at the keeper, but he doesn't actually catch it. It just stops. It's crazy. But I do like how they just turn around instantly at half time. Also, music is just going crazy in my ear. It loves it. The music you can turn off, and I think I probably will for my main series as well, because it can get a bit obnoxious. We are just going to like zip through the game now, I think. You've sort of seen the idea of it as we go 1-0, because Fleming has scored for Division 1 Oldham. So we press the subs button, we're just going to go long ball, hard tackling. We're just showing off a few different things here. How you can change it in game, make a couple of changes as well. You can do a quick change from here, so you just select the players you want to change. So we're doing Lee Clark for David Ginola, and then if you want, you can go into select team. You can see their fitness, the fitness of the players. So obviously you want to sub off people who are struggling for fitness. So for whatever reason, we're bringing on Pavel Cernacek for Alan Shearer, because why wouldn't you? And hopefully we should just get through the game pretty quickly now. You'll see it's disappearing as Ferdinand scores a second and spares our blushes against Division 1 Oldham Athletic. Something I don't show off there are things like player stats. There's a couple of stats there as well. Something I didn't show off initially as well, the bank. So you get to see your bank manager and your bank balances and stuff like that. You can apply for an overdraft, so a sanctioned overdraft limit of 1.5 million. Loan repayments of up to 330k a week. So it's sort of just sort of muddle around a bit. You'll see the monthly payment there and the amount of years you take to pay it back. So you end up just having to type in numbers and figure out how much you can borrow. It's a bit of a pain in the bum, but it's fine. But yeah, loans we don't need to worry about too much in the Premier League. That's the accounts in general, so you can see your income and expenditure for the week commencing, or you can click view yearly and you can see how you're getting on over the course of the year. Obviously we're doing pretty well for the week and in the year because of season tickets, which won't be there forever. My voice is struggling. And then deposit account. So this is nice. You could probably see there. So we're going to transfer 5 million to the deposit account. You get different percentages for overdraft, loan and deposit, which do move. So it's worth keeping an eye on them just to make more money for the sake of it. So we're just going to quickly show off improving the stadium. So we could select one to give us more luxury boxes, but we're probably just going to select a corner that has nothing in. Otherwise, obviously you lose capacity for a little bit, as you would in Football Manager 2018 and 2019 coming up. So yeah, we're giving it the biggest corner possible. You click improve. It's basically like an "Are you sure?" You say yes, absolutely fine, and then we'll just show off in Newcastle Arsenal. There's a little instant button down here, and we drew 1-1, so that's not bad. So here's the view player stats area. It's nothing fantastic. It just gives you an overall rating. I don't know if 50 is a good or not, but they don't seem good. It automatically puts you onto teletext, which I quite like. It shows you just the latest goings on, and you can just click on tables, go on Premiership. So that draw left us 11th. It's all really straightforward. That's pretty much the whole game, apart from this. So chairman has called us in to say we've got a sponsor, blah blah blah. Gives you a little newspaper clipping for your games you play. Not always, but sometimes. So yeah, you get a couple of different types of sponsorship. One's weekly, one's up front. This one offered us money per week, so we're not really in a position to say no, to be honest. A sponsor's better than no sponsor. And what we're doing now, because I wanted to show off rigging a match, which I think I'm going to cut out, but I'm not sure. I'll probably just keep it going. We tried to rig a match with Everton, and they're not up for it. So I'll actually just see you at the match, because this is going to take a while. So we are looking at the match after Everton turned down a 3 million offer to rig it. An instant result brought us a 0-0 draw. Next up is Spurs, and I do try and rig it again, but again they say no. It's almost like people aren't as morally corrupt as I am. Or do we try and rig against Spurs? I can't remember. We soon made a bit of money that week, and we are instantly getting some money from our deposit account, which is quite nice. We are going to draw some out so we can try and offer a ton of funds for rigging matches, which is cool. I think the offer bung is more about when you approach players directly, but I don't really know. So I might give that a go during my actual playthrough of the game, and I guess we'll see. Yeah, Spurs turned down 5 million, so we just go in and press instant and draw yet again. Next up for Newcastle is no match, but then a match in the UEFA Cup against Hamburg. So I thought, you never know, European club might be up for it, but instead we just go for a bet. So we bet 6 million on us to win, which we can't do. You can bet a maximum of 300,000. I think that increases as the years go through, but initially it's 300,000 in the first season. And how do we get on? We lose 2-1, so that's 300,000 down the pan, which is a nightmare. Are we just going to keep going on trying to rig games? I mean, I don't blame you. I'm clearly terrible at the game, but they refuse to cooperate. Classic. Derby County, I think it's the last one we do. Instant result, get a win at last. Terrible attendance, 23,000, so I don't think the chairman will be happy with that. Check the newspaper. Match fixing allegations. My voice today, seriously. So yeah, you get those items that I think you can get sacked if you're found out, but I think it's quite hard to do so from memory. I know you can get sacked completely. We leave Newcastle 9th, so that's not too bad. Undefeated in 4 games, which I'd have taken. I'd take now, my word. But that's the game, basically. So if you enjoyed that, please do remember to like and sub, and look forward to the actual version of me playing it. We should be charging through a few seasons because it's so quick, as you've seen. You can even save the game in DOSBox as well. So yeah, please do hang around and join me probably for a Woking playthrough, as has been spoiled there by myself. But yeah, thank you very much for watching.